What is up, everybody? Size Matters RC here. Monday night mashup. Welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good show for you. As always, we are going to start off with our, we'll call it this week a weekend update.
Yeah.
What we have going on, what happened to us in the last week, what's on the horizon for us. So without further ado, John, Craig, I'm going to let Craig take it from here.
So I just want to start off by thanking our sponsors. Monday Night Mashup is brought to you by RC, CarryAll RC, Crawler Colt, and RC Garages, as well as RC Misfits. So if you're not following any of them, if you're not aware of any of them, go check them out. And let's get right into it. So tonight's show is... There's an owl. There's an owl outside. Wow, that was loud. Sorry, ADD kicked in there, but I didn't know what that noise was. Kind of scared me a little bit. We want to talk about USTE. If you don't know what USTE is, it's an event held in Gainsville, Florida. It's the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo. Last year, thanks to Mike George, huge shout out to him. He talked us into going and told us it was an event we didn't want to miss. And I'm glad we went. It is an absolutely amazing event.
I would say that USTE was, we were gently pushing a snowball around, and USTE was a giant hill.
Yeah.
And that propelled us to what we're doing today. If we hadn't gone to USTE last year in February, I don't know if we would possibly be where we are right now. Between the networking, the people that we met, the connections, and just real-time, first-hand experience of a real RC community. It was definitely a game changer for us and brought us to where we are now. Right? Fair to say?
Absolutely. We met so many good people. Mark from Crawler Colt. That was the first time we met him in person. And that has, turned into...
I mean, I slept on his couch with his dog.
The man's family now.
Yeah,
legit, we consider him family at this point.
As well as we do most of the other, Mike George and Joey from RC Misfits. These guys are people that we see regularly. We communicate outside of the RC world regularly.
Yeah.
These are people that are getting, Christmas cards or Christmas texts, Merry Christmas and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to start off. So, UST is supposed to be joining tonight. I hope they do. So we'll wait for them to come in here. But what I wanted to start off is start talking about our experience with USTE, what we pack and what we bring, and how we plan USTE, because you can't just show up to USTE unprepared. It's a lot. Bring your walking shoes.
You can, but it's not going to be as good of an experience as if you prep for it and you know what to expect out there. So as people have only done it once, and this year we're already ready to go for February, we made some mistakes the first time around, and we will never make those mistakes again. And we plan on doing UST every year for the foreseeable future. So we just wanted to go over, where we went right and where we went wrong on our first trip, and maybe give you guys some pointers. And if anybody out there has been or has, thought about going, has questions, or has been and wants to give, their 2 cents on what they think is the correct way to pack and prep for it, please let us know, jump in. That's the whole point of the show. We want you guys on here and giving your 2 cents and your opinion. So it's a call-in show.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with planning your hotel. First of all, you want to plan that well in advance. Hotels do fill up down there. Do not stay.
Cannot stress this enough.
At the Super 8 in Gainesville, Florida. Not a good experience. It was very bad. Every other hotel seemed okay.
Every other hotel that other people we know stayed at were like, what are you talking about? We had breakfast. It was great. There was a bar in our hotel.
Ours was bad. Very bad.
It was asked for a garbage bag, and she said, what? Said a garbage bag for our room. What size? How many garbage cans are in my hotel room? She needed a garbage bag. Anyway, it was not a good experience.
Yeah, that was a horrible example. There were so many other bad things, like the mold in the room.
Mold in the shower, the disgusting air conditioning filter that made us all cough uncontrollably and feel like crap every single morning when we woke up.
Yeah. Anyway, enough on that.
Yeah.
we drive. All right, so we're in New Jersey. You have to plan travel. If you don't live near Florida, you have to plan travel. So plan your travel in advance, okay? We drive. So we get a rental car and we drive down. We do it in one shot. We do not stop. I'm a psychopath. I do not stop unless we're getting gas.
He gets mad if I ask him to stop so I can use the bathroom.
Yeah.
He does not stop. He will drive straight through continuously, 10 and 2 and 4 monsters.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So,
but we make good time. We get there. And it's the drive there is enjoyable. The drive back.
Well, that's my next thing. You definitely plan out. So this event is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this year it's February 17th, 18th, 19th. Okay. A lot of people didn't stay Sunday. You kind of want to try to stay till Monday, or plan your travel out Sunday night. This is where I'm going to give a caveat to that. If you're flying, Sunday night's a great time to leave. That's fine. If you're driving, we left right after the event on Sunday. It was the worst drive back ever. To do the event and then get in the car and then drive for 16 hours, bad idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
So we're staying till Monday this year. Also, on Sunday at the event, there's that's where they do their raffles and their giveaways.
And they're ridiculous.
I don't know if they're doing it the same this year. If they join, we'll talk to them about that. But last year, our experience was they gave you a wristband, and on the wristband, during your registration, there was a number on it. And periodically, through the 3 days, they would pull numbers, and you would get whatever prize was issued to your number.
At that point, they the way they did it is they picked the prize.
Yeah.
So they would pull a prize, call a number, and then they'd write your number on the prize.
Yep.
And you just walk up, I'm number 342, and they look on the table, they find 342, and you could win a RC four-wheel drive bag that had pens, lanyards. We've all seen them.
Yeah.
RC four-wheel drive business card, postcard, or you could get handed an LMT. There was no rhyme or reason. They just you won what you got.
And then on Sunday, that's when they gave away the big box prizes. So they were giving away trucks and everything like that, and it was a really, really good time. So I definitely suggest staying till Sunday. Now, as for packing, you definitely want comfortable shoes or boots. It is all dirt trails, and there is a lot of walking, so definitely be comfortable.
If you've been to, we'll say, Beat the Creek, completely different terrain. Beat the Creek was very rocky, steep. USTE has a lot more trails. I think USTE last year was 14 trails, counting the 24 scale stuff. But definitely, you're putting in a day's worth of work. You're out there, and if you're there to trail, you can spend 8-10 hours on the trails. Bring batteries.
Yeah, definitely batteries.
Let's talk about the amount of trucks you should bring.
Okay, so we overpacked last year and brought pretty much everything with us. And I learned that realistically, for my purposes, I'm going to pack pretty much a truck a day so I can play with different things and see how different trucks handle the different terrain. So I'm only bringing 2 or 3 trucks. I'm going to try to pick 2. I might end up bringing 3, and that's it. Because it's a lot to carry back and forth. We do pack our CarryAll bags. So realistically, driving one truck and having another truck on my back, no big deal. Once we get to our spot and we have a setup, usually we're with like the Crawler Cult guys or CarryAll. Or Rebel. Or we'll just leave the rest of the stuff in the car. It's not a far walk. Yeah,
anywhere on the trails you are, at no point are you at an obnoxious distance from Vendor's Row or the parking lot where your vehicle is. So if you don't have a buddy on Vendor Row that you can leave your stuff at, leaving your car is a perfectly viable option. At no point, maybe 10.
Parking's great.
Parking was great. It's abundance.
It's very easy.
It's very easy. Yeah, there was no complaints. I would say on our end.
And then as soon as you walk in, you register. There's a table for registration. Registration goes pretty smoothly for the amount of people that are there. It's very smooth.
As you're waiting in line for registration, whether you pre-purchased your tickets or you can buy their day of, They will have groups of people going around with clipboards. You're going to sign a waiver. So it's a blanket waiver on the front. There's a sheet on the back. You sign your name, and it gets passed to the person behind you, just like when you're in school. And just keep passing it down. But it was very quick. When we walked up to the line, I would say probably 70 people in the line that we picked, maybe 50, and we were we're gonna wait here forever. And
it was
next
done
10
quick.
minutes later, we were up, and it was our turn.
And then once you're done with vendors row, or once you're done with registration, you walk into vendors row. And day one is the show and shine. The show and shine, I have a picture posted on our Instagram. It was huge. There were hundreds of trucks in show and shine. Get your truck in show and shine.
In the middle of vendors row, we call it vendors row. It's more like vendors square.
Yeah.
There's a giant, like 30 by 60 sandbox. They do monster truck events. They do some short course truck racing. It's mainly for the monster trucks, but around that box perimeter is all the trucks for the show and shine. And you, at first, like, that's a lot of trucks, and then you go hang out, do your thing, and you go back and look, and it is surrounded all the way around with some of the most beautiful scale and non-scale builds you've ever seen. I mean, there's show quality in 1/1 scale there that would put some real cars to shame. But like I just said, we were going to talk about, just because it's Ultimate Truck Scale Expo, Ultimate Scale Truck Expo, you don't have to be scale.
Yeah, no, you can absolutely bring a RTR out of the box and go have a great time.
You can bring your Everest 10 and still have fun.
Yeah. I just real quick, I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments. RC 5150, what's good, fam? Thank you for joining. I appreciate
Always.
You. Trailing with Timmy. So this year, I think I'm going to bring my Gladiator. I brought it last year, and I love the way it handled all the terrain there. It looked good. So I'm going to bring that. I'm definitely bringing the Rebel. That's where I bought the Rebel, so it's going back home.
I was going to bring that up when we were talking about how many trucks to bring.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring 3 trucks and you think 3 is good, bring 2, because there's a good chance you're going to leave with 1, or make sure you have room for a 4th on the way home.
Yeah, because we didn't have room for a new truck in a box, so I think the box went in the garbage.
Correct.
At USTE.
Correct.
And the truck just went in the back, and we still barely had room for it. And then my TF2 that I built is going.
The TF2 is going.
That's going in show and
Show
shine.
and shine for the most part.
And then I'm going to go and beat on it, because it's never been run.
Can't wait for that.
So it's going to be a good time. But that's the 3 that I'm bringing. I don't know what you're bringing.
I'm bringing my 10-2 that we refer to as Cash. That's been my daily since day one. It's got a bunch of stuff done to it, but it is, for the most part, just an SCX 10-2 with some, we'll say, mild upgrades. And then currently I have a G-Speed that I was thinking about bringing, but I'm also building another G-Speed that I'm going for a little bit more of a scale setup on. So I think that might come with me, but I think I'm also only bringing 2 trucks. I don't find a reason to bring 3. People go, if I break something, listen.
It's
at the end of the
vendors row,
day,
man.
You're going to find the parts you need there. If somebody doesn't have them in their backpack, we carry most stuff in our CarryAlls enough to rebuild the internals of a truck.
Yeah.
We learned from our first year there. Probably bring an extra transmission or some gears. Other than that, we want to make sure that we have all the parts we need. And if not, Vendors Row has it. You'll find somebody there who either has it or will sell it to you or has an extra one laying around.
Absolutely.
And that's where you really get to see the RC community shine and the camaraderie.
Yeah, Matt Thompson helped me out huge. We've told the story, so I'm going to keep it short. But I broke my TRX. I brought my TRX and the spur gear went, but we didn't know what it was at the time. We actually thought the trans went. And he literally handed me the keys to his truck in his trailer.
Keep in mind, we met him 6 hours earlier.
Yeah, and it was like, here, go take the trans out of my TRX. It's in the trailer. Here's my keys, and
get
your
back
truck
on the trail.
Going and back on the trail. And I'm like, what? Turns out it was just a spur. I went and fixed it real quick, and I didn't need it. But events like USTE really show the RC community in the best light possible. And it is what pushed us to do all of what we're doing now.
And talking about RC community, anybody out
Trailing
there...
with Timmy, I remember that. It was by the hill climb. Yes. Yes.
Anybody who's never been to an event at all. Me personally, I was a little intimidated my first time going to an event. Just felt like, what do I do? What are the rules? Am I allowed to do this? Do I bring this? What am I split? put all that out the window. Don't worry about it. Just go.
Yeah, it's not a Sorka event. There's
just show up and have fun. That's what 95% of the people are there to do.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to have fun, network, meet people, play. It's just a genuine good time and a genuinely good group of people.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say there are no rules, because there's not really rules pertaining to like a comp. But there's rules, but they're common sense rules. Like, don't leave garbage laying around. Don't bash on the trails and destroy stuff. Like, be a normal human being. Those kind of rules. But you don't have to worry. Excuse me. You don't have to worry about like what size tires you have, or any of that stuff. What are they called with Sorka now? The rectangles, whatever that is. Don't have to worry about any of that. Go have fun. I don't care if you have a super scale truck and an RTR. Go have fun. Also, bashers did not know this. You want to touch on what they have for bashers?
Yes, but I just want to say that not going to an RC event because you don't feel like you're up to par with other people who might be at that RC event is the equivalent of saying, I have to lose weight before I go join a gym. Just go. People there are going to help you. People there are there to push you and teach you and make you better. So if you feel like you're too new to this, or your truck's not as good as these trucks you see when you watch videos on YouTube, BS. Just go.
Go and learn.
You're going to learn.
Ask questions.
So much. You're going to learn.
USTE
and you're
is in here.
Support.
So USTE, if you would like to join, send us a request and you can come on in. I'm actually going to put this to the side for now. We'll
so
talk about this
the
later.
bashers, as Craig just mentioned, it to me is probably my second favorite part of USTE. Is especially the third day. They have a nice little section of grass put aside with 3 or 4 different size quarter pipes, ramps, couple little ramps, and then they have a monster. I don't know exactly the size. I'm gonna say 8-foot quarter pipe.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it this year, but last year it was there, and they were sending trucks to the moon.
The amount of yard sales that occurred after these trucks came back down. It was so much fun to watch. And then at the very end, the last hour of the day, you got guys who are hooking up smoke bombs, Roman candles to their trucks and sending them. Just sending them. I'm talking, Armas at, full throttle into an 8-foot ramp and just watch it disappear and watch it come back down. And the amount that land and then drive back and do it again, ridiculous.
Yeah. The Notorious is the one that I noticed.
Yeah.
They just unbelievable. I couldn't believe the beating that these trucks took, and now I want one because of that. I was watching it and just going, there's no way that truck didn't break. Like,
also
impossible. And he went and sent it again, and same thing. I'm like, ooh, it makes you cringe inside, and it looked like a great time.
Also, right before the show, Craig and I were talking, and we were mentioning about like what we're gonna talk about tonight, about things, little bullet points we want to bring up, and the bashers came up, and Craig told me, and we could announce it on the show tonight, that if we hit 2,500 followers on Instagram by USTE, he will send his Baja Ray Mint off the big ramp at full throttle. If we hit 2,500 followers, we will strap a GoPro to it, and we will send it.
And John said that if it breaks, he's paying to fix it.
No, I didn't say that. Why would you put words in my mouth? I never said that. So anyway, anybody on here who's ever been to USTE or any other event want to jump on, just please.
Well, USTE's in here. I'm waiting for them to send a request to join. USTE, just send us.
Fabworks, what up?
Send us a request so we can get in on this conversation.
We have lots of questions, and we have other people on out there, I'm sure, who we're not doing it justice, the amount of information that you have.
So much information.
So much. So Vendors Row. I'm going to try to name who was there last year. Let's back up. So we're 2 giant children, for the most part. We're both adults, family men, career people, but when we're allowed to be, we're giant kids. And the way that, it's going to be a bad analogy with this one, the way that most people might feel rolling up to Disney for the first time, If you could have saw us in the car as we pulled into, so the UST event is at a wildlife reservation, I believe a privately owned wildlife reservation. It's like a couple hundred acres. It is, you pull in and there's these giant metal gates you pull through, and then you just start seeing the sponsor signs, and you start getting giddy. And then you turn a corner, there's this giant 20-foot by 20-foot banner with all these sponsors on it.
Hold on.
Row of car.
I don't mean to cut you off. UST does not know how to send a request to join. Honestly,
It's the plus button on the bottom.
yeah,
Camera.
I believe there should. I think it looks the same on your screen. You should have the camera with the plus button
Next to the comments.
Click on that, and it should be your request to join.
Where you could type a comment. Next to it should have a camera, a little person with a plus sign, a question mark, and a paper airplane. The first one, the camera with the plus sign, is the box with the plus sign is the join the live. So Vendors Row, it's overwhelming.
I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah, you're
blew my mind.
Your heavy hitters. As soon as you walk in, K&K has their giant blue and orange tent set up. I thought it was a Mets tent at first. We're from the East Coast,
really
so
cool.
immediately sued baseball.
Nope, don't see it. Oh boy.
Can you send him a request?
Let's see if I can add you. We'll see if we can do this. I am also computer illiterate.
I'm just going to rattle off people that were there. RC 4 Drive, Scale Rack.
Yeah. If you're doing this from a computer, you're not going to be able to join. You have to do it, I believe, from a phone to join the live.
Well,
that's the issue.
What was I saying? Oh, there. Yes.
Focus on you there.
Oh my gosh, how do you work this thing? Oh, it's pointing the wrong direction. Give me a minute. I'm coming. Hell, there we go. Holy crap.
That's okay. We're here. Yes.
Holy cow.
All right. So what's going on?
Oh man, I'm excited.
You want to
Sure.
introduce yourself?
I am. What does Joy call me? She made a little thing. I am the Captain Chaos, basically. From this time of year, I'm Captain Chaos because there's so much stuff going on pertaining to USTE, and there's a lot of moving things, and we've got incoming stuff from all our vendors and sponsors, and we've got outgoing things to try to get stuff done. It's just it's totally insane. So yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I give you and your team so much credit
100%.
Because experiencing it from the other side, just everything that has to go into it is just mind-blowing on how you pull it off. So
that's great because we had no idea what the heck we were getting into when we started this thing.
And speaking of that, what made you want to start it, and when was your first year? For the people that are just joining or don't know what USTE
2017
is.
was the first year, because seems like so long ago now, I can't remember. 2017 was the first year. USTE is absolutely not my idea at all. My buddy Corey Byrne, and I know you guys have all seen him, but he kind of stays, he stays incognito as much as he can. It was his idea. He lives about 3 hours south of me in Punta Gorda. Unless you're a Yankee, and then you call it Punta Gorda.
Well, we're Yankees, so.
Yeah, that's good. So it was his idea, and he wanted to do something that was not a Recon G6, right? If I say that, you guys all know what I'm talking about, right? Not a Recon G6, not a competition. We don't care what kind of monster truck you drive or what kind of scale truck you drive. Well, we do. We want the scale trucks, but just something that was more who can build the best model, right? Way geared towards modeling. Who can build the coolest truck? We don't care if it friggin' drives horribly or not, but if you set it in your display case, like a couple of those that are up there, that are in the glass, right? Those types of trucks that nobody ever drives because they have, 400 or 500 or 1,000 hours into modeling. That's what we did USTE for, because that event didn't exist in North America. That event did exist elsewhere, and that is Superscale in Germany. And anybody who's been around a while knows who Superscale is. And those guys actually came over to USTE our 5th year, I think they came over, or 5th, 6th, 7th. No, our 4th year they came over to kind of scope out what we were doing. They have really good modelers in Germany, right? You know, because BMW, Porsche, I should say Europe. So, like, their modeling is top shelf over there, but what they don't have is space. Well, here in the U.S., we have tons of space, relatively speaking, right? So when you think of Europe, all of Europe is the size of the United States. So all these individual little tiny countries that have their own, you know, militaries, and that would be like, you know, well, I'm in Florida, right? So that would be like, well, Florida, we have our own Coast Guard, Navy, and Army, and then Georgia, right across the line, well, they have their own Air Force and Army, right? It's hard to kind of think about how the world works like that because we're just used to being totally badass because we're the USA, right? So over there, when you go over to Europe, it's like all these little tiny countries, and they're just like crossing the border of a state. Like I go from Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina to Tennessee. You just drive across the border. Well, they do the same thing there. So with regards to modeling and all that, we both have about the same size countries, but those guys don't really, they don't have what we have with regards to wide open spaces. So they can't really just go out and have these trails that are forever long to drive their dollhouse trucks on, right? So you remember Superscale, they have this super kick-ass, like crazy looking, think like San Francisco drawbridge with these cables, and it's like forever long. That is the one thing that Superscale has. And if you look at all the photos, it's that one bridge with their D110 pickup truck sitting on that one bridge, right? Or their, you name the model, but it's always around that one thing. Well, when they came over here, they talked to me, and they're like, hey, we have this one little quarry, and they brought 1,200 people, modelers, to this one little tiny spot, and they did the best thing they could with the size they had. Well, our modelers here in the United States are catching up rapidly now, years later, but we have access in Florida to this private property that's huge, right? So we can do all kinds of super scale. Like when you come to UST, this is my biggest concern. Is it a new guy? You guys were just talking about this, right? Like if you're a new guy, just go to an event. Just go, right? And quit looking at all the media garbage that you see about, oh, well, you know, we try to make really fancy, hyped up videos, and we show the best trucks we can, the most detailed, and the new guy watches that, and they're like, I can't go to that. I just have a stock SCX-10 or a stock Traxxas or a stock whatever. That's the worst thing they could ever think. They just need to come. Because then when they're here, they'll park their stock truck next to the dollhouse truck, and they'll be able to talk to the guy and say, how'd you do this, right? How did you, you know, I don't know. The number of questions that they could ask the guy, and here's the thing. The guy will tell them. The guy will rip the body off his truck and say, here, I did this, 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 this. You can take your truck right now and go back to the hotel room and do these 7 things to make it look better, right? Knowledge is free, and everybody that comes to just puke their guts out, totally geeking out nerdy stuff about how to make your truck better, right? I mean, this is fantastic.
And we love the community there because it is a very friendly community at USTE. Everybody is there to lend a helping hand, to give you 2 minutes out of their day to explain how they did something. They're proud of it. They will show you how they did it. There's no secrets. They're there to help you. Vendors Row is the best thing in the world. One, for a networking purpose, it's fantastic. But two, at an event like that where you're really putting mileage on these trucks, if you break something, it's probably going to be last year.
Like, that's not the greatest thing, but like every box, those are all vendors. Like all those boxes, those are all individual vendors.
Hard to make. Oh, I can see it now.
I can see it. Yeah, it's unreal. Now, Vendors Row, is Vendors Row going to be bigger this year? Are you guys growing?
And I don't know why that is, but this year Vendors Row will shrink slightly. I mean, it's still going to be huge.
Oh.
But
And you know what? That could be due to the economy. I mean, a lot of companies are hurting, and I know we lost a couple of companies. So, I mean, that is quite the possibility that maybe they just can't make the trip down or afford to, which is a shame because a lot of vendors are small.
what is it, 26? And they're 30 days this month or 31? Well, they got, what, 5 days
31.
to make up their mind. The end of the month is our cutoff. So if they get their vendor registration or their product that they're going to sponsor, that's it. We have hard deadlines, and they're not, negotiable to anybody. So
now, if somebody wants to sponsor the event or be a vendor,
ultimatescaletruckexpo.com, and they need to send us an email basically right now, like 2 days ago. They need to send us an email. We don't. We're
okay.
Well, I should be totally transparent. I have been crazy busy the last 6 weeks or 2 months. Personally, I'm trying to put together a 1-to-1 Bronco, a 1970 Bronco, and I have had like no time whatsoever to designate the USTE like I normally would have done. So, see, this is Joy helping me out here. So vendors have until the 6th of January to vendors can vend up to the 6th of January. But if you're sponsoring, like if a vendor wants to also sponsor, that deadline is December 31st. And that's because we have to make T-shirts. So we have to get everybody all of their graphics on the back of our shirts, and we send those off to our graphics gal, and she runs the graphics through, and we look at them, we approve them, then they go to the T-shirt manufacturer, they run through and make sure that they all jive. Then if something gets kicked back, it comes back to us, then it goes back to the graphics gal. Like, I mean, it's not like,
and this,
yeah, it takes time, and for the first probably, we're in year 7, the first 4 years anyways, we pushed it off as long as we could to kind of let all the vendors come and everybody that wants to sponsor, and now it's like, sorry, this is a business now. If you're in, that's great. We'd love to have you. And if you're not, we can't afford to not have our vendor or our sponsor shirts, done on time so that our guests can get their T-shirts. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a bit of a monster, I guess, at some point.
Same way it would work if you just wanted to be a sponsor. If you're not a vendor and just want to be a sponsor for the event.
Sponsors specifically are the 31st. Specifically sponsors. Vendors, we give an extra week or so, just because that we don't. If you just want to come and vend, so I should tell you this too. USTE, if I go Traxxas, Axial, I mean FMS. If I tell you those names, you guys all know who they are, right? You know who they are. You know what they produce. You're familiar with models that they make. If I go Reef Servos, if I tell you Scalar Fab, if I say Helios Batteries, you guys all know who they are, right? You know who they are. You know what they make. So here's my question. What's the benefit to any of those companies giving anything to us? Because you guys all know who they are. You're all familiar with their product. You know what they get? Nothing. They get nothing in return from donating all those items. Now, you guys have been around a while, right? So if it's a new guy and they've only been around for 6 months or a year, maybe they don't know those companies. But anybody that's been around for any amount of time, they realize who they are. And so I'm just saying this because I guess it's a bit of a misnomer on how events are run. And I just don't like to hide behind the curtain of, hey, we need you, or we need this, or we need these sponsors, because we don't, because we all know who they are, and they sure as hell don't need us, right? So I am super, super grateful for those companies that donate these products that we can give away. And then on the flip side, if somebody ever wants to come to USTE and they don't want to donate, well, USTE would way rather have those companies here and not give us anything, because those companies that show up make our vendor row. And you guys were talking about vendor row, right? When you walk in and it's wall-to-wall tents like forever, and it's all RC everything, that makes you USTE. That makes our event. It's not the stuff that they donate to us. It's having them on site. So when we call new vendors, we don't want your stuff, right? Which a lot of people are, you call them on the phone and they just think that they want something. Well, we do, but we don't want your product. We want you in Florida at our event. And so that's opened up a lot of doors in a lot of different ways.
That's really, you know, showing how much you care about the community and the attendees of your event, to have those sponsors on hand and allowing them to come, even though they you know, say they don't donate something. Because that's a requirement. You know, like if you didn't donate, we don't need you. You're not coming. Like you have.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
We're a little backwards.
It makes it's part of the.
I love it.
It's part of the
I love it.
Go.
I do have a couple questions for you, and I know they're big questions. I know for anybody that didn't watch it, Operation 11 Charlie last Monday had you on, and I know you did go over something. So if anybody wants to go check that out, there is another episode with him on Operation 11 Charlie's live. But I know a couple of people have asked the questions. I got a couple messages asking me as if I knew, because I have no idea. I'm not running the show over there. SCX6s, are they going to be allowed? Is there going to be anything?
There will be no trails for SCX6s as of right now. They are allowed on the hill climb course, and they are allowed on the Basher Park, and they are absolutely, we want to see them in the gallery, the tiny truck gallery, 100%.
Great. Perfect. Short, sweet answer. That's great.
Check that off the list.
Check that off the list. The next question, which you just answered, the Basher Park.
Yes,
is going to be a thing again.
Yep.
I love that made me smile, giggle more than anything, because I wasn't throwing my truck off of it, so I got to watch other people do it, and it was great.
That was so much fun to watch. What
between 11 and 13 total. We're not sure yet, and that's just because I haven't made an executive decision. We'll see. We'll see what manpower allows.
Okay. And then
mud truck races.
Yeah, is there going to be that box in the center where we had the monster trucks and the truggies and all that? Is that still going to be there?
Hey, Pam, will you get my charger?
Perfect, because that's MT.
Yeah, so we do so there's a gallery for everything, right? Because USTE is about who can build the best stuff. So there's a tiny truck gallery Friday. We're actually having a diorama competition on Friday as well during the gallery for the trucks. The diorama size is a 6-foot folding table, and they're pretty standard. It's like 6 foot by like 22 inches or something like that. So if you want to bring a full-blown diorama, and we don't care what it is, like you want to have a McDonald's parking lot or I don't know, whatever you want. Any scale, any size, it doesn't matter. That'll happen during the judging. And then we have, let's see, we do monster trucks. We do motor on axle, and we do shafty for monster trucks for gallery, and that's generally Saturday. We do a street class gallery, which is anything on road, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, touring cars, dragsters, like anything that's on road, right? If it's not monster truck stuff. Then we have mega mud trucks, which are generally what we run in the mud and water. We have monster.
I did not partake. I saw trucks from that just slap covered in mud, and it looks like
I try to go see that every year. That's one of my faves. So we do mega. Then we do semi trucks. Semi trucks too. And then we do semi trucks are pretty big because we do the rigs, the trailers, the accessories. We do a lot of stuff with semi trucks. So I think that's all the galleries, though. Am I missing one, Amanda?
No drift.
Oh yeah, drift. But that would go in the on road. That would go for the street class gallery. Now, and I'll tell you, the street class, as we get bigger with street class, if the drift cars really show up in force, and down in Florida we have quite a few drift guys. If they show up and there's enough cars here to where we break that off, we will 100% split that, and the drift guys will have their own class. It'll still be street, but it'll be street class to everybody else, and then the drift guys will have their own thing. But it's just a matter of getting them to the event to make the numbers happen for that.
I know it was last year, the Element, the Hoonicorn was like brand new and they had it there. And I was watching guys rip that, and it was very cool because we don't really get into the drift stuff. We don't have one. I know there's a couple places around here to run them, but it's never something we really got into. But watching the guys control those cars is very impressive. And that's what your event is. We can go from monster trucks to mud trucks to scale trail to drift cars in the same area. It is to me, we consider USTE to be like the mecca of RC for us. It's unbelievable. Mike George is the one that told us, like, you need to go. Like, this is an event you need to go to. And we recommend everybody to USTE. It is our go-to event.
Has anybody ever up or asked you, or you ever thought about or tried some type of mobile drag course? So somewhere where people can drag race.
They actually do. So it's technically not part of USTE, but for the last probably 3 years, there's a whole bunch of guys after the event that meet up in the parking lot of the grocery store here in town, and they literally do side-by-side drags with no prep drag cars, like in the parking lot. They've had the local police like roll by, like look at them, like, what are y'all doing? No problems, never had an issue. So yeah, that definitely partakes here too.
Unfortunately, I don't remember the vendor's name. Maybe you will.
Oh yeah,
he does all the.
I do. Joshua Dutton, RC every day.
Yeah. So I went over to his booth and we were talking, and I was just looking at one of his rigs, and he's like, he goes, we did some drag racing last night behind the Winn-Dixie, and I was like, I thought he meant 1/1 scale. I thought he meant real life drag racing. I'm like, oh, I missed that. I would love to. And then I realized people talking about it, that was the thing. Or is it Winn-Dixie?
Yeah, it's the Winn-Dixie,
Wiggly or something like that. Winn-Dixie, and I'm like. And he's like, and a lot of people, he said, showed up, and they were doing drag racing, no prep, just going.
But that just goes to show everybody in every walk of life in RC goes to this event. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's ran so smooth, and the dioramas that are set up, the doll houses, and one of my favorites was that water tower with
the sawmill,
like the mill, with I got beautiful pictures with that.
Did you see the actual? Did you see the windmill? Did you guys get out to course number 10? The windmill. The thing is damn 9 feet tall. Yep.
And the first, I believe the
actually
first
have pictures on our Instagram of that.
Was the hill, right? Fender's Road.
Yes,
that's the giant tall hill.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
now
that was the first one.
Yes. So Vendor's Row, and then we have course 1, which is a big mound. That was a fire tower. That's not. That was the fire tower.
That's right.
The friggin' windmill was the opposite end of the property from that thing.
I'm back. It was a year ago. Give me a break.
That's funny.
So as far as sales, it'll always be available to buy tickets day of, right? You can just show up still and buy tickets, wait in line, pay your money. What is the cost for all 3 days? If you buy in advance right now, go online.
I think it's $110, but I'm not positive. And then it's either 20 or 25 or $30 more day of, and I couldn't tell you what it is, to be fair. We would way rather everybody buy their tickets in advance because it makes our registration so much smoother. So there's definitely a penalty if you're going to wait. But I mean, I think our ticket sales cut off like 2 weeks before the event. So I mean, there's lots of time still to buy the tickets, but it helps us out on the books with the computers and stuff to have everything pre-registered, and then you come up, you tell us who you are, bang, bang, bang. It goes way faster versus hey, I'm here and I got my 2 kids over there and my wife is with me, and well, that's how many of you are driving. I mean, it just makes our life way easier to do it in advance.
And you handled it very well.
Smooth.
The men and women that were handling registration and getting everybody through, it went very well. I thought it was.
You noticed that you didn't see me at registration. There's a reason you didn't see me there. It's just like
now with reservation or registration. Last year we got the bands with the numbers on them, and that related obviously with our registration number and with the giveaways. And the numbers were put on the boards as they were drawn. Is that going to be the same way that it runs this year?
Very similar. Yes, it will be very similar. That's the easiest way I can say it. So like this year, so we want, if a guy shows up, like you say, you come down and, you know, our tiny truck gallery is the biggest thing that we do. That's the biggest event that we have. Just who can build the best truck. And we don't limit you to say, well, you can only put in 1 truck in the gallery. I don't care if you bring 15 trucks to our gallery. I want to see all 15 trucks out there in that gallery. So we're going to do the same thing with the wristbands. So you're going to be driver number 173. Well, driver number 173 has 15 trucks. How do we do that? So your driver number 173, it'll be truck 173A, 173B, 173C, 173D, and so on and so forth. That makes it super easy for us. So there's no penalties for having 5 trucks or 2 trucks or 1 or 17, right? We want to see as many of your beautiful trucks as you can possibly bring out, and that just makes it easy for us on registration. So driver number goes with you. Truck numbers go to alphanumerics, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, D. And if somebody's got more than friggin', how many letters are in the alphabet? They got more than that, we'll just double up. A, B, B, C, C. I mean, you know what I mean? Oh, Lord, there you go.
I'd love to see somebody bring that many trucks that you have to double up.
I'm pretty sure people, I know I've seen more than 26 vehicles out there. The problem is they're dollhouse trucks, and then they're basher trucks, and then they're mega mud trucks, and then they're semi trucks. And so, you know, all the galleries are broken up into different pieces.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I'm trying to think of, is there anything that we didn't hit on?
I have a question.
Oh, he has a question.
Anything that you want to share or would share, anything new this year that wasn't there last year or you haven't done yet? Anything
that
special?
I want to share? Yes. Anything new? Also, yes. Anything that I will elaborate on? No. There's always new things, but we try to keep them a surprise so the guys that actually come out get to see them for themselves. I don't want somebody to be watching online and be like, "Oh man, that's so cool. Oh yeah, I heard him mention that. Heck with that, man. I want to see you guys plastering pictures on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, and then people will be like, "Oh, I should have been there," you know.
Also, I don't know if you're looking at the comments, but RC Garages, that's Bobby from RC Garages, twice now asked about being a sponsor for the event. So what's his best way to get in touch? Is just
Ultimate Scale Truck Expo.
Email?
Ultimate Scale Truck Expo @gmail.com. Definitely the easiest way is through email. And just put in there, you know, sponsor, vendor, whatever in the topic. Yep.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Hopefully, RC Garage, you heard that, and hopefully you do. That'd be awesome.
If not, I'll send him a message later with the information, so that way you get it. And
we do have a lot of people this year specifically that are reaching out to us because they want to be a vendor, and we are very specific with who we let vend. If you're not a manufacturer, we don't let you in. So there's lots of hobby shops that have been trying to come in, and we have probably 4 4.5 hobby shops now that have supported us from year one, and we don't have room for more hobby shops. So unless you actually build and machine and CNC some product for the scale RC community, we'd be glad to have you sponsor us if you want to send us product, but we will not have you on site. It's just, these are our rules that we stick by hardcore.
And it's smart because it does become redundant, because the hobby shops, for the most part, they're all selling the same thing.
Yep.
And if you have 30, it gets boring, and it kind of loses its luster. These small mom and pops, or even the larger companies that are actually manufacturing the product, that's what we want. That's what we're there for. You know what I mean? To be able
to go over to Element's tent with an element and an issue with the element and have him fix it, address it in real time.
That happened to me.
Well, it gave us a controller.
Yeah, it was a controller.
Controller that went.
It was actually my wife's.
It was his wife's that we were having an issue with it, and the Element tent took it, gave us a controller, go off on by.
Element and Axial will be on site, and we're working on others. FMN, Element, and Axial will be on site. Oh, actually, no, FMN, Axial, Element, and Red Cat. Red Cat's on site. Geez, I'm trying to think.
Yep.
Now, this is a problem. We've gotten so big in 7 years that it's like trying to keep track of the logistics of who's sending. Well, I mean, I have piles of them. Looking over this way, I have like piles of cardboard that's just donation prizes, like just support, and it's really a daunting task to keep track of everything and be able to throw out props to everybody that's helped us out, through the years.
Well, appreciate the amount of work that you put into this, and your team. Like we said at the event last year, the team was absolutely awesome.
The logistics in my mind are just crazy what you deal with, and the vendors were all top-notch vendors. There was not a vendor there that I went, what are you doing here? Like, because sometimes you go to an event and you're like, there's vendors that have 2 things on the table and you're wondering why they bothered. There of that at USTE.
I had just as much time hanging out at Vendor Row and mingling and talking to people and networking that I did.
That's fun. To be honest with you. Said, networking. You mentioned networking, like that happens more at USTE than I think any other event. And I've heard numerous people, vendors specifically, they're like, hey, we come here to network, to see the people that we only see once a year, to talk business, right? Not to talk shop, but to talk business. And so that's just a kind of a perk, I guess, that we didn't really foresee when we started talking about this crazy thing.
You guys have definitely knocked it out of the park.
It's great.
It's our
so
mecca,
much fun.
like we said, for events, and look forward to it. Last year was our first year at USD, but we started planning it on the drive home for this year, and I think we're planning next year's like 2024 right now. So
for those of you that don't know, it's ultimatescaletruckexpo.com. The dates are February 17th to the 19th. It's in Gainsville, Florida. If you're in the area or you can make the trip, please
do
it.
You're 17 hours away, get in a car and drive. That's what we're doing.
Is there, before we wrap this up?
Say what?
Is there anything you want to say to everybody before we wrap up? Or anything we didn't?
Man, I don't know. Like, I'm all ears for. If anybody had any questions, I'm always willing to answer questions. I think my biggest thing, like you guys were talking about earlier, is if there's somebody that's brand new and they look at stuff on social media and they're like, oh, I could never go to that because I'm not that good of a builder, or it's too far away. That's a big one. I love removing excuses. That's too far away. I can't go that far. And then I go, well, we had people from, let's see, France, Germany, China. What's your excuse? Because they all spent way more money than you'll ever think about, coming to this event. We have something for everybody, I think. And then on the flip side, I don't want some guy that's big time into competition crawling where they got to run through gates and, you know, it's a track with this and you can't touch a flag. And somebody shows up to this event with a 4.6-inch tall tire or something, they're probably going to be bored, right, if they go out on our trails, right? Like, our trails are ridiculously groomed. They are dirt paths for the most part because they're dollhouse trails, and that's the way they're going to stay. So I'm always kind of concerned that somebody's going to show up and have their, you know, their Traxxas TRX4 comp truck with like 17 pounds of brass knuckles and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, you're more than welcome to come, but like, don't show up and then be, you know, pissed off or mad because our trails are just groomed dirt paths for like a 3.5-inch tall tire. You know what I mean?
I did that last year. I'm running 475 tires on my truck, and we were rolling with some scale guys, and they're getting stuck on a route, and I'm going around them, and I'm like, oh, their truck's enough. And then it took a minute to register that I'm not scale, and this is a scale.
Right.
This is a scale event. You know what I mean? I had a blast. I had plenty of spots where I had some difficulty, but I had so much fun. It didn't matter to me. This year, I am bringing more of a scale truck. With
and you will probably have more fun this year. Yeah.
I hope so.
I
mean, I know I'm gonna have more fun this year anyway. Year 2 is definitely.
We're more prepared this year.
Yes.
And I think we're going to, next week's show, we were going to do it tonight, but I actually think we want to give it more time. I think next week's show, we're going to go over our CarryAll bag and kind of like what we bring with us to the event and like what you're going to need, because it stinks to be stuck out on the middle of a trail with all your friends and then have to take the walk of shame and pick.
I see that happening.
You know, you kind of want to stay with your group, and if it's something you can fix real quick out there, why not? So I do want to go over that bag, but I want to give that its proper time and kind of like what we bring and how we prepare for USTE, because there's a lot of trails. You put some mileage on your shoes and your trucks.
Yeah,
it's a great time.
We had said earlier that there definitely is it's definitely smart to plan as far as packing what you're bringing, what stuff you're carrying in your bag, extra parts and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're new to this and you're not a planner and you got one truck, you don't have a bin full of parts and a shop full of stuff to pick from, if you just showed up with a wallet or a nice smile, you're still able to get what you need once you're there. Anything you break, you can get, or they'll probably just give you out of their bag of the stuff they brought because they learned from other years. So at the end of the day, just go. That is the message. I think if anybody takes away anything from this tonight, just go. If you like the idea of it, you've seen it, you're interested, just do it. Go. We promise. Come find us. I will wear this shirt all 3 days that I'm there. Come find us. Hey, it's my first time here. What do I do? We will be your sponsors, and we will guide you through the weekend of USTE. If you're having reservations about going, get out there, go. It's an amazing event. The camaraderie and the group of people that show up for this are all there to support and help each other. So anybody who has reservations about it, stop, get on the plane, get in your car and drive. It's well worth the experience. That's my 2 cents.
We're biased, but we agree with you completely.
Yeah, I can't express how much fun it is to the point where we get back to the hotel and I'm looking at him, I'm like, I can't wait to get up tomorrow. Like, I cannot wait. Like, it's almost like Christmas morning. I'm like, I cannot wait. Like, I want to go to sleep right now and just we gotta wake up early and go. Like, I cannot wait to get there. It is, I don't know, man. It's a great vacation for us because it gets us out of the state and just we get to, you know, be tourists, and we get to go to
Gainsville,
like an awesome time.
Yeah, great time.
Like I don't know, I love it. You do an amazing job. I can't say it enough. I can't thank you.
It's not me. I've got a lot of people that help me with this. It's not just me. I guess I'm the boss and the final say so, but you know, I got a good crew.
No, that was prevalent last year. So
yeah, we knew you guys were top notch at registration.
it was
Because the line that we got in, we looked at each other and went, "Oh no!" And
Yeah, we
then
thought it was
like
gonna be
10 minutes later, we were walking in, and I'm like, "Well, that did not go as expected." And everybody was friendly. They had a smile on their face, even though, like in my mind, I was like, "They are not having fun, probably."
Generally not, but you never know.
They're dealing with. Yeah, so, huge props to your team. Even the way they ran the giveaways and everything was so organized. There was, I don't see why anybody would like question anything or complain about anything.
Nope.
Because I mean, you're always going to have
Surprisingly not. Our giveaways, we've
was
never had any complaints, and nobody ever questions our integrity, because I'll lose my mind if that happens. But we go out of my way to make sure that it is absolutely not questionable how we do it, so that nobody can have any doubts about any of that. Because I mean, let's face it, we get, I don't know, $25,000 or $30,000 worth of giveaway stuff, and that is not acceptable to have anybody question how we do that. So yeah.
No, and watching you do it was just, it was impressive. It was impressive. Your team is just.
Yep.
so. And I believe last year you guys auctioned off.
I just stabbed myself with a pin.
You guys auctioned off the the banner
Every year
right?
we do a couple of things that we only do at USTE, and it always goes to charity. So we give all the proceeds to Operation 11 Charlie every year. And one of the banners that we have out at the road when you pull into Cedar Lakes Wooden Gardens, that big 4-foot by 8-foot banner, full length signage, giant photos. That's one of the highlights every year we do that. Yep.
That was awesome to see you guys do that for Operation 11 Charlie to donate that
Yeah,
money.
there were a few things that were donated, and I was like, "Wow, that okay." Wasn't what else was there? There was something different.
A small wooden plaque or a small. It was like a commemorative thing. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh yeah, Lou. One of the guys that helps us out. He did it wasn't a laser etched. It was an engraved, like a CNC engraved wood plaque that was USTE. We've got one somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, it's so cool to see, because it's different. It makes you different, and we love it. Thank you. We can't wait to
stuff away. Oh, here it is. This is ours. We kept one for ourselves.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he made us one that we keep hung up in the shop out here.
That's really, really cool. And that's, we're talking about.
Yeah, we get
ready to go.
so we did, the little yard signs that are, 12 by maybe 16? Like for hell, down here you use them for shooting targets, right? Because they're good. The little wire stakes that go up in them, they're like plexi. Yard sale signs, yeah. So we got those from year one. We got 5 of them that were, I think they're 12 by 16. And 3 of them came up missing year one. And then 2 of them came up missing year 2. And 2 of them came up missing year 3. Well, we auction them off and give them away, the proceeds. We give it away. We did, we do Operation 11 Charlie, but then we did crawlers for kids for the corn messers, and they would literally give RC cars to kids that couldn't afford them. And it freaking really just absolutely pissed me off that people were stealing these damn yard signs instead of bidding for them. And then, highest bidder takes them away. And if it's $20, it's $20. If it's $120, it's $120. So last year was the first year that I went and I got 5 of them made. And I didn't put a single damn one of them out on the road. But I gave them all we auctioned all of them off at USTE. So just irritates the shit out of me that anybody would do that.
That we have people like that come to an event that is all about community and as tight knit as everybody is, and they show up and do things like that. And I could tell you that if somebody ever did something like that in front of me, it would be
Well, that's
dealt
the
with
problem, is
swiftly.
that I promised that
Yeah,
I'd
you
go
can't
out there and
do
I'd figure out who did it, which wouldn't take a whole lot of effort. And then my better half said, no, you're going to stay home. Probably a good idea. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it you know, it goes back, like you said, integrity. And people, unfortunately, there are some people that have none, and they don't have morals. And
Yeah.
those are the people you don't need
You're
at your event,
preaching to the
unfortunately.
choir here, man. I can tell you that.
So, anybody who's watching, if you see somebody steal anything from USTE,
Stop them.
stop them.
Or drop cigarette butt on the ground. Just say something. You watch somebody drop a cigarette butt on the ground, it's better you say something to them than me see them do it. I promise you, you'll be easier on them than I will. Pick it up and go, here,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
dropped this.
And
That'll usually be the end of it.
before we get off, I do want to say something though, because the grounds were very, very well kept and they are very clean. If you do go to USTE and you are walking on the trail and you find some garbage, pick it up, put it in your pocket, and throw it in the trash. Help
Plenty
out.
Of trash receptacles around
Just
the event.
keep the grounds clean. They take a lot of time and put a lot of effort into giving us this event. And what's it take to pick up, a candy wrapper or something somebody dropped? Just do your part, and let's keep USTE going and keep the grounds as beautiful as they are.
It takes no time to pick up anything that you see, right? Everybody's carrying a backpack and everybody has pockets. Just stick it in your pocket. And then there's trash cans everywhere because we buy them.
Yeah.
So, carry it through the trail, get off the trail, put it in the trash can. Done. Then that means I don't have to go walk the trails 4 or 5 times over, which I end up doing 3 or 4 days after the event anyway, to pick up everybody's trash. When, there's 1,000 people out there that could do it for me. It takes no time.
Yeah.
864 registered, like ticketed guests. And then another, couple of 300 people that just are either with the ticketed guests or come over from the gardens.
Okay.
Well, it was. We look forward to this year. We really appreciate you taking the time tonight to answer our questions and jump on with us. It actually means a lot to us. Hopefully, we got some answers out there for people who had any questions about this year's USTE. And anybody out there who didn't get answers they want, please reach out to us. Let us know. Yep. We'll get you answers. Yep. But thank you very much.
No problem. You guys got some other technical question or the basic of questions, just shoot me a message, man. We'll help you out, whatever you need. Or if anybody else wants to know, there's a vendor sponsor or something that wants to get on it, with a week left to go or 6 days, send us an email. Shoot you guys a message. Shoot USTE a message. Facebook, Instagram, and the website, you name it, and we'll get it taken care of.
Absolutely. Send us a message. If anybody wants to get in on a sponsor or vendor, let us know, and we will send you in the right direction. Last question. Do you know how to log off, or are we just going to end the show
white
altogether?
X button up there in the corner. I'm going to smash that thing. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you. We'll see you in a couple of months. All right. See ya.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, so we are ready for USTE.
Okay, bye.
No, we're not getting off yet. For those of you that have stuck through and watched that whole interview, thank you. Amazing guest, a lot of information, and it wasn't even all the information because there is so much that goes into this. Mark from Crawler Cult wants to join. Oh boy, our Crawler Cult USTE blood brother. This guy, just
you could talk to him
man.
for a minute. I'm gonna.
All right, he's gonna go. He's going away.
Real quick.
Yo, Mark, what's up, buddy?
Good. Hope you all had a good
doing,
holiday.
We did.
I'm glad it's over. Well. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. We can relax now. I don't have to worry about going to get this and going to get that and pleasing this person, pleasing that person. I'm done.
There's no relaxing
Back to-
now because it's time to get ready for Florida. You know, that's what we got to do. That's what I'm doing right now. Look, printing everywhere. One, two.
You're printing your special,
Yes,
your
I
special
am.
USTE prizes. Yeah, buddy. I'm very excited, man. And dude, I mean, the first time we met you was USTE, and like I was telling everybody, the opportunity to meet and network is just abundant at USTE. And since last year, we've become family, bro.
I can't wait
legit.
to get there, man. I can't wait to see you guys again. I got something special for you, though.
Yeah, we're gonna
Hold up. Let me try and find it.
We're gonna bro.
Where is it? Hold on.
We'll
Got something super special for you. Yeah, I gotta.
Oh
find it.
yeah.
Hold on.
He's got something for us.
Oh, I'm back.
He's back. John's back.
Oh, man.
Hold on, I gotta put y'all down. Hold on.
Well, I'm going to ask you questions about being a vendor for USDE while you're not on camera.
Look
You
this.
are at
Hold on.
USDE this
See
year,
what those
right?
are?
Kind of hard to make out what it is.
What is that?
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
Oh, you got him. Yes.
Just for you guys.
Thank you.
So-
I need one of those. I love my black and white one, but
These
that
will be
is my jam.
available on
You know
those
what?
hats at USTE only. Camel hat.
Boom.
The unfortunate thing for us is, oh, you're wearing a mesh hat. It's cold, man. Wearing a trucker style hat in this end of December, burn.
It is what it is, man. It's what it is, you know. But you know what I'm saying? I got hair though.
So,
That's the thing. I got some hair. You don't. Oh, see, there you go. I seen better heads on cabbage. There we go.
Nice. Must be nice. You are you this year at USC? Are you double wide, two spots again, or just going single
baby.
tent?
Got a lot of good things, man. I'm probably gonna have about 10 different T-shirts. The Bash Pro stuff. I got new patches. I got my scale shit that really no one knows about. It's gotta have that there, which is pretty cool. Stickers, of course.
We
bringing a friend along with me, a real good builder named John, JCM Customs. He's coming and he's bringing some rigs that are gonna be poof, knocks people's socks off, man. He's got a scratch build that is so insane.
You were teaching us what it last time. I can't wait to see that. That puts out beautiful.
He's going to be
Yes,
bringing that
he's
metal
bringing that
masher he's
too.
working on, right?
And he said whatever doesn't place in the thing, he's gonna beat the shit out of on the trails. So
Yes.
Or he could just
the thing is,
sell it to me.
with John, you
I
got to
will-
get him right away because he'll trade that to someone or he'll smash it up.
Are you gonna? You're gonna?
I am.
Scale ship there for
I don't
sale?
have anything to show you guys right now.
Yeah,
man. I don't have anything. I'm sorry. Very unprepared.
We did a big, and we threw some of your scale shit in with the giveaway. I don't think the person who won knows that they're getting some scale shit with their stuff as well, but they're getting some big.
Awesome. I'll have a package being sent down to you guys in about a week with some things for you and then some other things in it. I'll hopefully get these hats down to you. Yeah. But this time I'm going to have about 10 different T-shirt designs, some real cool new ones, man. I'll send them to you guys in a few minutes. You guys will dig them.
Please,
man. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
I got some real funny stuff gonna go on down there too. I got my rig, my tractor trailer. It's got a load of Loctite gonna be dropped off at someone's booth. That'll be pretty fun.
I can't picture.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
my
to get a picture
plan
of
is
that,
to
what it's
park it out front and get like a low to up photo of it, you know, ruffle some feathers, get everybody bent out of shape, crooked nose and shit, you know. But that's what I'm all about,
Hey,
baby.
listen, take a joke.
Yep.
Oh well. I mean, it's a known issue. We all joke about it, and we still love their trucks and still drive them. So, whatever.
Gonna have
So worth it.
some
Yep.
music
Funny
this
as hell.
time too, nice and loud. Yeah, like we're really
Nice.
gonna have a good time, man.
Nice.
It's, like we gotta have a good time. Like we're all friends, and we all know, man. If we don't have a good time, what else? You know what I mean? The way the world is, we gotta have a good time, and that's what we're gonna do down in Florida, man. We're gonna have a good time.
That's gonna catch us hanging out is in that whole vicinity with you and Mike and Jeff.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
And
I can't
Tudor.
wait. Poor Tudor, he's up in Buffalo right now, man. Woo.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Everything's
crazy
good.
Though. He's got like 48 inches of snow.
Yeah, it's actually scary and it's sad, the story that's going on up there. I mean, there's people.
Yeah, I said they're starting to loot because the police can't. They know the police can't get there, so they're starting to smell.
I heard the police aren't even responding to anything because
there's no 911 or anything. It sucks. It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Well, Tudor,
yeah,
we love you. Thinking about
he's actually trying to get out of there to come here this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully he can. So
I hope so, man. Because that's just, it's scary to be in a place like that, especially when, you know, there's no law to keep everything in order. I mean, you see what happens. I mean, starting to loot and everything, and because they know there's nothing anybody's going to do about it.
This is like this is the only thing I get to show you guys. I don't know if you saw this. This is how the scale shit's gonna come. The only way it's gonna be available is in this package. It's gonna have
and that
yes, you can see it upside down in there right now. That's the prototype. It looks a little bit different. It looks a lot better actually. That's how it's gonna come. It's gonna come with buttons, some other scale stuff, stickers, the usual, all the fun stuff from us. It's going to be $20, but there's only a couple hundred of them. That's it.
Perfect.
And people who are like, oh, that's a lot. You're looking at an event that you have
right, but also there's going to be a raffle ticket to win the CarryAll V2 bag. It's going to have a lot of extra stuff in it. I got a couple buddies of mine going to throw some patches on it. You guys are going to do something with it. We're going to raffle it off, and we're going to do it live there too. And you don't have to be there to win. If you take the ticket and leave, that's fine. But you'll get your prize, man. We will get you your prize.
And that CarryAll bag,
yeah,
that's a crawler CarryAll bag, correct?
I got it here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Yeah, it's somewhere here, but it's the one with the FTW. It's the only one ever made. There was no other ones made.
It's a glass bag. I'm gonna put in for the raffle because I actually want it. So.
You guys can't win it.
Raffle, so
that'd be like me winning it. Come on.
That's true.
No, fair. Right. You guys
will get the special one that don't have a raffle ticket in it. All right, because I think I'm gonna make a couple 102, so you guys can get one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Couple hundred.
Maybe three.
Mark.
Maybe three. So.
Gravity. I know I had somebody asked the question. I don't remember who it was, and I apologize. And I know we covered this already. They asked what trucks we're bringing to USTE. For us, John's bringing Cash, which is his green SCX 10.2. He's bringing a G-Speed. I'm bringing a TF2, a Rebel, and a Gladiator. And Mark, what are you going to be bringing?
I know I'm going to bring my semi hauler. I just picked up an excavator. But, oh, you guys want to see it? Hold on. I can show it to you. Hold on. We'll take a walk. Hold on.
I love, he always knew we're
Hold on.
trading
How do I turn this
something
thing
or-
around? Right here, right? John.
Who traded you? Yeah, I figured.
Oh, and it's a Volvo.
But to be
That's
honest
awesome,
with
man.
you, I don't like it. It's not for me, man.
Really?
It's just the controller's one of those stick things with all the. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this thing. It's not for me. And before I run it in the dirt and get it busted up, I'm gonna get traded for something. So, but I know I'll be bringing
Okay. Well,
this.
somebody will probably trade you there for it. There you go. Look
Sorry
at
about
that.
the lighting, but
That's
this is the rig in the
The
making.
Unimog.
Oh, I might.
It's
I
already.
got some stuff to do to it. It needs a paint job.
It's
Oh yeah,
It's
a lot
different though
different.
than
I
when you
put all
got it.
the aluminum on it. I'll probably
Yeah,
bring this,
looks great.
and then
I love that body.
I don't know. Maybe this. I like this truck.
Yeah, but you
No,
know, USTE is also a couple months away, and I know you'll end up trading all of those and have
Yeah.
a totally different
Yeah,
layout by
I
the time
am
USTE gets
working on getting a TRX6 to build something crazy out of. But I'm running out of time. I'm running out of
course you are.
time. I really am. I got all this shit laying around here. Anybody want to buy anything? Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
Look.
Where's the
Upstairs.
Unimog?
That's for sale too.
here?
Look at bodies. Look at
Yeah,
bodies
I feel,
on top of bodies.
but I don't.
Some real estate up in here. Look at these.
You would
Absolutely.
really
Why wouldn't I?
Unimog? I
No,
don't know.
because
I feel like that's
I
like
got the
your
Jeep
truck,
now.
man.
If I didn't have the Jeep from the same guy,
Okay.
Fair, okay. Because I would say that the Unimog is the crawler cold
I like the Jeep better.
mascot truck.
Yeah.
Really? Performance
No,
performs
it looks better. The Unimog's the
This looks
TRX4,
better.
man. Nothing performs better than a TRX4. I don't care what anybody says. Wait a second. In a setting of a competition, we're talking different things. But for something you want to just smash around and drive over everything, it's a TRX4. Look, this one right here. You know, that's right.
That's what I use mine.
That Unimog is just that on
everything.
steroids because it's encased in metal and it has a huge motor in it.
Dude, USTE the first year when you had it there, or maybe it was Beat the Creek, one of the two. You flipped it over, and I went over to pick it up and flip it over for you. I couldn't believe how heavy that thing was, man.
Oh,
it's a
it
heavy,
is, and
heavy,
that scale built
truck.
guy from England, I feel he's one of the best builders. People, check out his videos. I might bring this to USTE, my garage. I'm thinking about if I got
like
room
that. I
in the
like
van
that
this
idea.
time, because I got a real big van, I'm gonna bring this.
Did you that
That
lift,
came
did you
from
print that, or did you
James
buy
from
that?
Crawlers and Customs. Oh, which lift? The motorcycle lift, or that's
No, the truck lift, because I need one.
Endura. Yeah, it's like $60.
Endura?
It's not electric. You got
I
to
need
put it
one.
up with the pins in it, but it's cool.
That's okay. That's all I need. Got a huge garage from Bobby,
Nice.
RC Garages.
Yeah,
and
I got his back in there.
I got to start working on some scale stuff. So, because I have a whole garage to fill, and I have
right on. Well,
not much to put in it right now.
After Florida, when I'm done printing all this bullshit, I can get on printing some fun stuff for you. Because I printed those. Oh, you got a printer though, right? Yeah.
I got a printer. Yeah, I files, because I hate going on and trying to figure out what files work and what
that
files don't.
workbench. I got a bunch of good stuff. I'll give you whatever files you need, brother. You know that.
Yeah, thank you, man. Because I've printed some things, but I've had a hell of a time with some certain files that
If
just
I can
I
get
don't
this
have the
done, I'm
time
taking
for.
this down
Yeah, I
there
love
with
that
me.
thing.
How much
I
you want
gotta
for that?
fix it though. It's not right. I don't like how
John wants to know.
this red is plastic. That's painted. That's painted.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm gonna tape it off and I'm gonna paint it red, but I'm also gonna call it BF Hoodrich instead of Goodrich. I might just take some little paint and make the H painted
like that.
over it, like someone's spray painted over it.
Yeah.
But look at the back, the weld on the back.
I think
Oh man,
that would look.
this is done by JCM Customs, by the
Yeah.
way. The dude's no joke.
Dude, I
No joke.
need to. I need to get something.
I don't
like
have
this. Seriously.
anything
He
else
does.
by him right now. Oh yeah, I do. I got this truck.
No, because you always
Yeah,
trade it back to him.
all we do is trade trucks back. But he built this crazy cage in this thing. Took the back.
That
off.
is gorgeous. How much you want for that?
I'm just gonna go right to John.
He'll do it. Definitely. You guys are fam. He'll do anything.
Yeah, we got to get in touch with him. Yes.
You guys met him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we crawled with them with what was it called? Pine Hill.
Pine
Hills. Yep. The sticker on my Rebel.
Yep.
Awesome.
Stickers waiting to go on my new body.
I want that
Everything's
camel.
for sale, man. Everything.
I can't
Everything's for
afford
sale.
that truck, but I want it.
Look at what a mess I got. This is what my show that I'm coming back on, but this is the view you guys get when I do my show, right? And you guys have been here, so you know that it really looks like this. Look what a fucking mess. Jesus, I gotta clean this.
Yep.
I got TF2s everywhere. Look, I got one here. There's one right there. There's one somewhere over there. Anybody want to buy anything?
I
got a little bit.
That is awesome. Dude.
It still goes down. Look at. Anybody need any colors? I got whatever you need.
We need
we need to plan a trip.
I
back
got
up
all
there.
this.
Yeah, no, we got to come back up, man. I
Anytime,
want to
man.
come back up to Reckless.
Anytime. Yeah, we got to figure when something good's going on. I'm trying to plan some better runs at the Pine Hills or some other places. I want to do a D90 run. If you guys got those. Well,
I don't have one.
Well, if you do a D9
I might
for one of us,
have one you could borrow. Or two, somewhere.
No, I would do a camera.
Love them. I like
That's one of my
shit on top. That's what I really like. Just
yeah. That's on my bucket.
and
That's a
no
bucket
leaf
list truck
springs.
for me.
They drive a little bit different. That's what I like about them too. I'm not that big of a leaf spring guy. I don't like them that much. I think that because I like the way they look, and that's it. But I don't like driving them. I'd rather drive that.
Fun to build.
Road trip to my place anytime, man. Right?
Dude. Don't have a good time.
It was a great time.
We just got to go back to that
absolutely.
Mexican restaurant,
I was
bro.
just
That was
thinking the
so
same
good.
Than just hanging out. Oh, you guys want to go stop and see Plymouth Rock real quick? It's right here.
Look at what a mess.
Yeah.
Man, this is, you guys been here. Look at what a mess this place is because of USTE, man.
It's a big event, dude, and you're busy.
Oh, look at it real quick. Check that out. Ooh, sneak peek.
Ooh, I like that. It is different.
Yeah, it's better.
I like that.
And then I got to send out my box tomorrow before I get in trouble. You hear Rob talking about that? The deadline's tomorrow or whatever. And that's why I got my notes to say send out the box tomorrow so you don't get in trouble.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, I want to. I give you a message after because I actually, me and John were talking about something
absolutely.
the other day. I want to run
If you
past
need my
so.
approval, it's always yes.
Thank you. I appreciate
All right,
that.
guys. I'm going upstairs to have some cake.
All right, brother.
And I'll probably be up all night doing what I do.
All right, brother.
See you guys. Love you.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Right.
All right.
How do I get off this?
Great show tonight. The White X. I think it was a great show.
Everything is for sale, even a romantic date with Mark, where he'll talk RC all night with you. I'm in for that raffle, dude. Let me know. Sweet
$5 a spot.
you come with him, and we talk music and RC. That's a win-win. I'll buy all the tickets, especially if we go back to that Mexican restaurant. Anyway, thank you so much to Rob for USTE. Thank you to Mark for jumping in and sharing some sneak peek stuff. It was awesome to have USTE on and talking about vendors, and then go right to having a vendor on with real life experience. You guys got some sneak peeks of what's going to be coming out from Crawler Cult for USTE. If you're a collector of any sort, we are, and sometimes we don't realize that we're collectors of stuff, but we did stand in line at Crawler Volt's tent for their annual USTE patch, the minimal run. We were both able to get one, and I love that Crawler Colt's doing their thing with it. No, it's this one right here. This is the one. This is this one. It's this one. This is the one everybody wants. Right
No, this was the USTE patch that Crawler Volt did. I think it was 100 of them.
I think 100. But
I could be wrong.
Get in line at Crawler Colt's tent and buy that sticker pack that's going to have the raffle ticket in it and the one-off USTE oil can. Great idea. It's going to be awesome. I know I'll be waiting for one myself. But yeah, thank you to everybody. As always, shout out to Cow RC. If you're not up on Cow RC products, get over and check it out. Move Clean, Utter Butter, no product placement. This is just our workbench, what it looks like. We were working on trucks prior to the show. Huge shout out to RC Misfits, Joey. As always, Crawler Cult, Mark, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. CarryAll, Mike George, thank you for, like we said before, pushing that snowball down the hill for us and making it as it is today. And RC Garages, we got the garage, and we have to literally, I have to take my motorcycle out of his shop to make room for the garage.
It's huge.
I don't have room in my garage for my motorcycle. That's why it's here. But I'm going to have to make room at my house so that we can put the garage up. But we're super stoked. Anybody's not following or buying from RC Garages from Bobby, get over there. Check that shit out. It's very good. Top of the line stuff. Anybody else? Anything else you want to jump in?
No.
Hi, Dreamer. Sorry we didn't say hi.
I just want to thank everybody for watching. I think next week is going to be a good show. We're going to have another giveaway. I'm not telling you all of what it is because
next week.
Yes.
Next week already.
Yeah, it's January 2nd. January 2nd is our next show, and there's going to be Skittles is back. Skittles, you came back and we're getting off, but you might want to stick around for 2 seconds. We are doing another giveaway January 2nd. We're not going to say what it is because we don't know yet. But we're still getting people giving us things. So
we will promise that it'll be as good, if not better, than the holiday giveaway.
Yes.
Skittles one. With that being said, we just want to make sure that you guys don't get spoiled. Not every giveaway is going to be like this. This is the holidays. We're trickling off
we're not giveaway people.
The holidays going into New Year.
That's not what the show's based off of.
Correct.
But
we're not doing it for follows. We're just giving back. We do have sponsors for the show. The sponsors like to give us stuff. Instead of give us stuff that we can give to you. We don't get anything from our sponsors other than stuff to get to you guys. So, so next week, the 2nd, we'll have a nice giveaway. The following week, it's still on works. Really not that big of a deal to anybody in the RC world, but we might have a special third guest host, possibly. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
No idea.
So we'll see. It'll be fun to talk about scale stuff with that person. So let you guys know. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining tonight. See you next week on the 2nd.
Later.